What if every aspect of the development process could be evolved to build the field for ecosystem development, from community to ecosystem to social systems, governance and financial. After spending some weeks going through all the feasibilities for the projects that we have in partnership with Sun Villages, I found that I started getting too deep into the weeds. So I was losing perspective of the bigger picture, and I was struggling trying to come back and communicate everything that we were doing because of the complexity of it all. So from apartment developments to women's housing in regional areas to financing mechanisms, impact funds, regenerative cooperative finance vehicles, to even just the community development work, regenerative development, Sun Villages, housing model, it all just got too much. I was like, if I can't hold a common thread across all this, how am I going to communicate it clearly to people that have no background in any of this? So I let my mind rest for the day, and that's when it hit me, as usual. Sun Villages actually stands for, it's an acronym for Synergistically United Network of Villages. So the idea is every site, as it is its own entity, it is also networked across everything, and that's where you get the, not economies of scale, but the network effect from the system dynamics that come across from having all these communities united. Same as what we've got with Regen Places Network, same as what we're going to be developing with the Bioregional Institute cooperatives as a model. So with regenerative development on top of that, to layer that in, I realized that it's nested communities that come up to scale, because not everyone that invests in, say, even this development that I'm on now, 50 unit development, there's going to be more than 50 investors. Not everyone can be a part of this physically. Not everyone's going to live here. There's going to be, the co-op's going to be investing in small sums, 10, 20 grand for some people, to help people get on the property ladder and join in this community event. So there's going to be a community of cooperative investors, larger investors, impact investors, unsophisticated and sophisticated investors. Then there's going to be the residents, and that's just this. Then there's going to be communities elsewhere, and that's when I've realized the common thread across everything is nested layers of communities. And when we network that properly, and then it doesn't matter if it's Regen Places networks and people that live here, every one of these communities can be networked, and that real network effect can get into play. So the strength of the nodes of the network, it will empower the whole ecosystem. But from a communication perspective, that one-of-one, if I'm telling a story, I don't want to be explaining, reinventing the wheel, reconfabulating the universe. We just want one clear message of, this is an ecosystem of nested communities. I'll say it better than that, but that's the gist of it. And then at that level, that's the leverage point of how we communicate to the uniqueness of each one of these groups that come together. And at that level, that's how we'll and I'm even talking about the development team. So it's the development, the finance, the local communities that these projects are nested in. And then from that, the bioregional communities when you're doing large scale activation. And now we're actually, it'll take a year or two, but now we're looking at the watershed on top of multiple bioregions, which is a very big play, but it's all fantasy until it actually happens. But that's how you structure this sort of development work from the ground up. So that's where I got to today. Together. Hello. I got my boss here now. We're doing a video. Yeah, well, it's getting too heavy for my head. I'll see you soon.